Hello everybody and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is a Saturday and it's a very special day for me and my husband. It is our 17th wedding anniversary. So if he does choose that he needs to do something or wants to do something, we might be cutting it short. But if he decides that he doesn't need to do anything this morning, we will go on as usual. Hello, Joyce. Hello, Dawn. Welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody out there in Lurkerland. I appreciate you all being here. We are going to be coloring in Wondrous Folk today. This is the Joys of Summer. I haven't colored in this book yet, so I wanted to color something in it. And since we were talking about the Caran d'Ache Pablos last week, that is what we're going to be using. You guys made my mind up last week, so just saying. All right. So we're going to jump on in and we're going to start on her hair. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. This way and this way. All right. Hello, Kim. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we're going to start with her hair, and I want to do her hair in reds. So we're going to start with reddish orange. Hello, Connie. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to start with reddish orange. And this is going to be our base color. So I'm going to do this very loosely. I'm not going to worry too much about covering everything. Because we'll be coming back through with the darker colors and then blending it for the lighter colors. Okay, well, have fun. Hopefully you find something nummy. Make sure you don't color her ear if you're coloring along, because I almost did. I'm just saying. I was sitting here this morning trying to figure out hair colors, and I don't want her to be a brunette. And I want her to have those summery colors. And I just went out with the lines. We didn't see that. Nobody saw that. It didn't happen. The great thing about doing it red is I don't have to do too much of a tan skin because redheads don't tan all that well. Well, some of them don't anyway. But I am going to do a little bit of a tan in her skin. This is the final days of summer coloring. So this one is called The Joys of Summer, of course. You know, little tops, and ice cream, pretty flowers. Definitely all those things that we enjoy in the summer going into fall. Wanted to do something that was the end of summerish because I won't be here next weekend. to do the final days of September. So this one will be the last page colored before October. And of course, October we're going to be starting with the pumpkins and all of those wonderful fall pages, Halloween pages. Let me know if the camera is blurry or anything like that. Want to do her hair first so that I can make sure that her skin color isn't too dark for her hair. So this is just our starting point so that we can make sure that all the colors go together and don't look like a spray-on tan type color. Although nowadays the spray-on tans definitely do look a lot better than they used to. And oh, I already said hi, Connie. I didn't see you say hi to Joyce earlier. You're all very quiet today. I hope you're all doing okay. Had a good week. I was sick all the start of the week, and I thought it was just my stomach doing its thing. And I found out from a coworker that she had the exact same thing. I woke up Monday morning very feverish, and she had the same thing. She woke up Sunday morning very feverish. So it's like, okay, well. No, it was Tuesday that I woke up feverish. Monday I went to work and she wasn't there. And then Tuesday I woke up extremely feverish. And then when she was at work on Thursday, we were talking about, why we were away. And she said, yeah, I woke up with extreme fevers that wouldn't go away. It's like, huh. Well then, I guess whatever you had, I had too, because that's the way I woke up too. But I'm feeling better now. It went away. Once we get the base layer on, that's when we're going to need to have those sharper pencils. The one thing I like about the Pablos is they are a fairly soft pencil, but you can still do the hair flicks with them, which is great. Don't color the earring. But don't miss the hair behind it either. Okay, I think that is it for her start of her hair color. Now we're going to go in with English red. That's what I want. Just have to find it. There it is. Alright, and then we're going to sharpen this one because we want it to have a good sharp point. Hello, Shannon. Oh my goodness, Kim, I am so sorry that you're not over that mess. Yuck, I hate COVID. COVID parties are not fun. And hello, Kim, if I missed you coming in. Feel better soon, darling. Just coming into those shadow areas with the flicky flickies. Making sure to get that shadow in there. You know, I think I want to come in with a lighter color first, and then we'll add that darker color. I'm going to come in with vermilion first, because I think that darker color is a little bit too dark for that medium area. So coming into these areas here, I don't want it to be as dark. Yeah, that's better. Hello, Mona. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you. I've just started it. I might mess it up by the end of the day, so. Make sure you don't get her ear. The joys of hair. Flick, 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 flick. Hello, Kenny. Welcome, welcome. Kim's having parties at this point. She's entertaining her unwanted guest with the rest of her family that has the unwanted guest. I am so sorry, Kim. I hated COVID. It was the worst. I was lucky and only ever got it once, and I never want to see that again. Excuse me. Good morning, Alex. Come up to the crown of her head here. Bring that in a little bit higher here. Ugh, yuck. I am so sorry. Well, definitely talking to your mom is more important. Family first. We're still here, so you're not late. You're only late if I'm no longer here. All right. So we're almost done with the second color in her hair. And then we'll put in the darkest color. And then we'll be going over it with the light color again. And I might add a little bit of lighter color in the highlights. Yes, I'm just working on her hair. This is Christine Caron. It is a grayscale. But yes, I just started her this morning. And I don't like how much red went into that, so I'm going to lift some of that orange out of there. And I've just started her hair, so I'm just getting the light and dark medium colors in, and then we're going to come back through and adjust. It's a good thing she has short hair. Oh, well, thank you. The one that ran out is one of my skin tones. I just got to look at it. I and I have looked for it in open stock, and they don't have it in open stock. And I did look for it in just the skin tone pack, and it doesn't seem to be in the skin tone pack either. So I think it's only available in one of the bigger sets. I actually have my marker. I think I stuck it in the bottom so that I knew which one it was. I'd have to go through them and take a look because I think I put it away where it belonged. But it's one of my base skin tone colors that I usually use. Hello, Carol. Ooh, you have luck on eBay, do you? I never have luck on eBay. And thank you. I will. I'll message you when I figure it out. All right, now we're going to go in with that English red into the dark. Okay, well, a little bit more of that up here. And this is where you'll start adjusting between the really dark hairs and the lighter hairs. Putting those contours between the layers of our hair. And then blending them in. And I was working off screen, sorry. Thank you, Shannon. I got down to the bottom and then I got concentrating. I gotta keep you in the middle of the screen so that I'm not moving it around. I get concentrating and then I don't want my head in the way. So far the colors I've used for the hair are the reddish orange, the vermilion, and the English red. All right, now we're going to take this one. So now we're going to take the Prisma white and we're going to go into the areas we want those starker highlights in. We're just going to break the tip off of that, don't worry. And we're just going to put those in. And the orange color, the orange red, when I go over it, will go into that color, but it will be a lot lighter. I want that color here. A little bit darker. So we're just putting the highlights in a little bit brighter with the white, so that when we go over it with the lighter color, they'll stay a little bit lighter. And then here, we want to come through there with a little bit more of the medium color. Thank you, Kenny. Alright, I think that's what we want to do so far. Now we're going to come back through with our lightest color again. And I'm not going to sharpen this because we're just going to base it. So we're just going to go right over top of everything, blending everything together. So Kenny, it's the reddish orange, the vermilion, and then the English red in the Pablos, if you want to save it. And then I used a little bit of white Prisma just to make the highlights a little lighter. Hurry back, Alex. Hello, Angela. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you need coffee. I know I need my coffee before my brain starts working, and I have not had nearly enough today. I've only had a few sips because it was too hot to completely gulp it. With working and ending up with a coffee sitting on my desk for over an hour before I have a chance to drink it, um, it's gotten me used to colder coffee. It's not like ice cold, but it's not as hot as I used to drink it, or usually drink it. Went out of the lines again. No, I can't drink cold coffee either. It's gross. I throw it out. I don't even like iced coffee or anything like that because I can't have the sugar. And, what has happened here? So it seems I have when I brushed off my page, I've got a layer of um, pencil dust that coated the page here, and I don't want that. And now I do know the Pablos do smudge, but not usually with the brush. So be careful. Yeah, exactly. It has to be still hot by the bottom of the cup. If it's not hot by the bottom of the cup, it gets chucked. That is why all my coffee goes into a thermal cup, because I cannot stand cold coffee. Now, because I have seen the movement of this color onto the rest of the page here, as soon as I'm done with her hair, I'm going to take the blender and I'm just going to go over it gently so that we can not move that all over the page as we're coloring the rest of the page. All right, and then the final color that I'm going to add is a little bit of light lemon yellow. Sorry, I had an itch right under my mic. Oh, I do. Life in my house is very, very bad if I don't have coffee. All right, so we're going to use light lemon yellow, and this is going to be the final step in the highlight. Because we're working with an orange color, the light lemon yellow will give it that burst of freshness in those highlight areas. Make sure it's nice and sharp, because you're not putting it everywhere. You're just putting it in a few of the highlights where it's going to get that bright color. All right, and then we're going to take that blender, if I can find it, right from my nose, and we're just going to go over it. Hello, Noelle. Hello, Marilyn. Hello, Callie. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Just finishing up the hair. Like I said, I'm going to run this blender over it so that my hands don't move it. I might have to pull out my glove so I don't completely ruin the rest of the page, because we don't want her skin to be orange. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to start on her skin tone. And I know I've still got her eyebrows back there, but we'll get to those here in a minute. Now I'm starting with the Granite Rose. And like I said, I want her skin to have a light tan. So this is going to be our base color. And then once we get her skin color on, we'll do her eyebrows. I'm just spacing out the first layer on her skin, and hopefully this paper will take more than one layer. Good morning, Catherine. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. This time I'm not going to miss the ear there or here. Okay, so that's going to be the base color of her face. And then we're going to come in with the darkest color that's going to be on her face, which is a brownish orange. And we're going to do the shadow areas. the deeper shadow or areas more than anything. And this will lighten up. It won't look like she has a big bruise, I hope. It did on the page that I tested it on, because I'm not fantastic with tan skin. I'm okay with light skin, but not the best when it comes to tan skin. But I did give it a test first. This is where I start getting quiet, because I'm trying to make sure that I get all the right colors into the right shadows. So that when I come through and I blend them together, they don't look silly. Thank you, Dawn. Nope, didn't forget the ears. I already got them. With the base coat, at least. And I didn't even color them orange with the hair color. Okay, now the next color we're going to use is this one. This is Hazel. Oh dear. Yeah, yeah. That is always those things, you know. I hope that you haven't forgotten that it isn't, you know, isn't it, forgotten her wedding day. But since she called, more than likely you have not. You're not usually irresponsible, so, or forgetful. Oh my goodness. I didn't think you would, but yeah. I'm sorry you've been stressed about it. And I know it looks odd at the moment, but it won't when I'm done, hopefully. It is in the first stages of oh, what is she doing? You will do wonderfully. You take such beautiful pictures that I can understand why wedding parties want you to take pictures. Every once in a while. Sometimes I curse myself for sharpening a pencil too sharp. When I don't want those little lines. You don't want to do one in December, Shannon? I hope it's not an outside wedding in December. That's I had mine outside in September and that was bad enough. All right, now I'm going to come in with a little bit of brown ochre just in the really dark areas here. I know at this point it looks like her face is dirty. Yeah, no, mine was a simple wedding. Took 15 minutes from start to finish, including the reception, just saying. Yep. Yeah, I got married in the backyard. All right. Okay. Then we're going to take the cream. We're going to do the highlight areas here. And then we're going to take our pink again. Yeah, yeah. It was a nice wedding. I enjoyed it. There was a little stress, but it was done. It was over with. It was once it was done, it was done. And I'd do it the same way again if we renewed our vows. I just invite different people. I would invite a lot more different people. Now I'm using the granite rose and I'm putting a little bit more pressure on it to blend those brown colors in and together. Yep. Yeah, no, I had for my first wedding, I did have a fairly big wedding, and I just didn't want that with when Bob and I got married. It just wasn't worth it. There was just way too much drama. Even with the small wedding, there was drama, but a big wedding was just so much drama and so much money. All right, then we're going to come through. We're going to dust this off, and we're going to use that cream. In the highlight areas again. And then we're going to take the blender. And we're going to smooth it out, hopefully. Was trying to avoid the spray tan look, and guess what? We've got the spray tan look. I need to go over her ear because I did neglect a couple of steps on it. So we're going to go back in with the brown. And back with the peach or the pink. There we go. And then we'll do her eyes. And her lips. And hopefully it will blend better, look better. Okay. Now do her eyebrows. It does have good paper. It's a little smooth, but it has nice thick paper, you know. But it's a little smooth, so getting it to all right, now I want this one. Because most redheads' eyebrows have more of that blonde orange in it than their hair does. So I just used a little touch of the golden yellow with the orange that I used on her hair. Now we're going to go green for the eyes. So we're going to start with this one. Yeah, well, today is my wedding anniversary, so my parents weren't there because they were in Canada, but Bob's parents were there. All right, now I'm just going to go a little bit darker. So I need a little bit of emerald, I think. No, I want Empire first. Thank you. Yep, today's our anniversary. We got married at 7, almost 7 o'clock, September 20th, 2008. Absolutely, we will be having many, many more. Doesn't even feel like it's been that long. We met in 2005. Actually, physically met. We've known each other since well before that. But we met in 2005 and started dating. We got married 3 years later. Hello, Calamity. And thank you. I did miss you coming in. We've been doing preparations for this trip, and I got to work yesterday and I went, oh, crud, tomorrow is my anniversary. I must not forget. Take care, Connie. Have a great day. Thank you. All right, and then I'm going to use a darker color. I'm going to go with dark green. And this one I'm going to sharpen really sharp. just going to blend down, complete the whole thing over again with the medium green, blending that dark green in. And then the light green. Actually, I think I want to go more green than that, so let's take this one. No. Yeah, yellow green. Yeah, that's better. The other one was a little bit too yellow. She's not a cat. There we go. That's better. And then black. Wow. That's a lot of boxes. You thought you were going to get it all into one. Sharpen this. That's this one. Actually, I'm going to do that one, and as well as the ivory black. So the ivory black I think is a little bit darker for under here. And those eyelashes. Right. Now we're going to take a little bit of this one. Hello, Carol. Welcome. If I didn't say hi. 51. Awesome. Well, congratulations. Now I'm using apricot. And then I'm going to use a gray. So I want to use this one. So I'm going to use beige. I don't know why it's called beige, but there we have that. And then we're going to sharpen this white Prisma again. And we're going to come in here. Dang it. Like that. Okay. Now for her lips. I'm going to start with raspberry red. Bye, Dawn. Have a great Saturday. And then we're going to come in with the pink. I lose my chat? Or did I lose my stream? Alright, any of you there? Looks like I may have lost my chat. Oh, no. Okay. Alright, it just went really quiet, and it's like, okay, did I lose my chat? Because that has happened before. Okay. And back with the pink. Alright, now we're going to zoom it out. Because I think her head is done. What do you guys think? We've got to do her earrings and her flower. I'm not happy with the skin color, but it is what it is. You was getting crackers. Yep, yep. Oh, you're just coloring. I don't like the skin tone, but it is what it is. Like I said, I might go over it again and see if we can smooth it out. I was trying to get a bit of a tanned look, but the paper isn't accepting it as well as I'd want it to. So, all right, now we're going to do the earrings, and I want to do them in a golden color. So I want to start with light ochre. And then we're going to take brown ochre. And then we're going to take some yellow. we're going to come back with the ochre. Like so. And then for the flower, what color should we do the flower? I don't want it to clash with her hair a whole lot. So I was thinking of doing it in the pinks that her lips are with white. What do you guys think? So most of the petals are going to be white, but the dark areas and the medium areas are going to be in the pinks. All right, so we're going to start with the darkest areas because I'm going to blend the color out into a lighter color with the white. So I'm starting out with the raspberry red. I think that'll look nice together and have the flower pop a little. Yeah, the yellow I didn't want to go too yellow with against the hair. Um, After seeing the gold against it, I really didn't want to do that. Yeah, it's going to be lighter than her lips. That's why I'm putting the dark color down first, and then I'll come through with the white to knock it back. All right, and here as well. Okay, now we're going to come through with the pink. more I'm looking at her face, the more I'm thinking that I really should have just went with my light skin color, because at least I know how to do that one. Oh well, it'll work out. I will fix it at some point. We'll figure it out. And then we're going to use the white Prisma. Well, even with the it's not too bad. Yeah, once I get the rest of it done, if it looks complete trash, oh well. Can't say I didn't try. All right, and then in the center area, we're going to start with golden yellow. Lurk away. And then we're going to grab orange. All right. There we have that part done. Okay. So we're going to cover this part up here. So there we go. There she is. Without the neck. Now we're going to just move down her neck, I guess. What time is it? Well, we've got about 15 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it there. I will finish up her, well, let's start the neckline. I'll finish up her neckline and her chest area here off screen, but I'm going to get it started. So we're going to put that base color. And the base color is the granite rose. Thank you. So we'll get at least her base colors down, and then I'll continue off screen. I'll even actually move the book up so you can actually see what I'm doing. And then that's me. Now I'm just being very loose with this because it's the base. Right, isn't it? I thought so. You know, I figured you might want to see what I'm doing. All right, so there's her base color. And then we're going to come in with the brownish orange. And we're going to start putting in those heavier shadow areas. Oh, I said that, and I am going to move up the book so that everybody can actually see what I'm doing because I was like way down here. And nobody could actually see anything I was doing. The colors that I'm using are the Granite Rose. This one is a brownish orange. That's fine. No, I caught it quickly. It's okay. And you got things to do, Shan. You got puppies to let out. You got weddings to go to and photograph. And you is a busy woman. I caught myself. I even looked to see if you yelled at me. And I went, phew, she didn't see it. I know you would have. That's why I went, phew. Between You making sure I'm on screen and other people making sure I don't use my hand instead of my brush to wipe away crumbs. Yeah, you guys keep me on track. It's all good. I like it. All right. Coming in with a little bit more of that color here, especially in this heavier shadow area. Just doing it a little bit lighter through here as we blend it into that other color that we are about to come in on with the hazel. Well, I am glad that you are there and relaxing, because what you're dealing with that is horrible, horrible thing of ick is not anything to be uncared for. And make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because I hated having it. It was horrible. Worst of all, my whole household had it, so it was like 10 times horrible, because I'm mom, and you know what happens when mom is sick, and especially if everybody else is sick, because mom can't be sick at that point. Now I'm coming through and I'm just putting a light layer of this brown, tan brown color. Trying really hard just to use the side of the pencil without having the point leave a mark. I'm not doing a great job of it, but that's okay because this is just the first layer. And now I'm going to take my eraser. No, Kim has COVID. I was talking about last time we got COVID, the whole household had it. All right. Now we're going to come back through. Actually, we're going to come in with our cream color. And we're going to put in the highlight colors here, here, and then here, as well as here. and here. All right, then we're going to come back with the granite rose. It's the weirdest thing. I feel like the grayscale is being drug by the pencils, and I've never had that happen before in any of Christine's books, and I'm not liking it. Just saying, I really don't like that. A little bit, but not as much as it is down here. But the grayscale down here is a little bit thicker than it was on the face. Like it did up here a little tiny bit, but down here it's really dragging it, and it's just weirding me out. Like it's dragging it in the motion of the pencil, which is causing lines where it didn't do that as much up there. And I've never had this happen with Christine's books. Yeah, it's like I don't like it. It can stop doing it now. Yeah, it's just dragging it. All right, so I'm going to have to figure this out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is maybe put a layer of the see if I can just move the color around with the blender instead, and hopefully get them. No, because it's pulling that too. Shoot. This is weird. I've never had this happen before. Now I'm going to zoom you in so you can actually see what I'm talking about here. See how the grayscale is being drugged from here and here? And even when I come over here and I just start going in circles, it actually is being picked up by my blender and being drug. So even the blender is picking up the grayscale. Let's see if I can lessen them a little bit with the eraser. So I'm going to have to go through and I'm not sure if there's any way that I can fix this. But we'll continue working with it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do is in the darker areas. See, but the thing is I tested it before I came on to see if the grayscale would come off with my eraser here, and it did not. That's what is confusing me, is it seems to be moving with the wax of the pencil. And I've had to do that with Selena Finesh's books because her grayscale is very dark. But I've never had to do this with any of Christine's books. Yeah, I did test that theory because I had a really dark area and it didn't seem to move it a whole lot. Not off the face anyway. But it did lift it off of there a little bit more. Now I might use a sand eraser just to lift off any of that excess. I think it's just picking up the excess that was sitting on top of the page because of the paper being smooth. That ink just sits right on top of it. So I'm just going to go over the whole thing with the eraser and just pick up as much of the excess as possible, and hopefully that will stop what's occurring there on the rest of the page. I might go over the entirety from her neck down because I haven't blended it a whole lot, and see if I can pick up erase some of that color and pick up some of that grayscale off of there. I might need a different eraser for it, but see how it just erases right off of that grayscale really easy? I think it's because the ink is too heavy there, and it's just the color sitting right on top of it. So I'm just going to take this eraser and I'm just going to scrub it and see if we can get some of that darker grayscale lightened and lift off some of that ink. But I've never had to do this with Christine's books. Alright, now this is going to look like the worst possible thing to do, but it'll be fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Let's get rid of that. There we go. You didn't see nothing. We didn't see nothing. Ignore it. It's fine. She's just a little ghostly for now. It'll be fine. Yes, it's fine. Everything's fine. All right. All right, so that was 20 minutes to color and uncolor an area on the page. All right. Yeah, yeah, and I can feel the texture in the paper now, um, which is good. Now I do have several different erasers. This is just the Prismacolor eraser, so it picks up the smoother, waxier pencil. So what I'm hoping is that it will pick up and remove some more of that extra ink. Now, if I wanted to completely make sure all of that ink is removed, I have a sand eraser as well, but I think that would probably give me more texture issues when it came to putting the pencil down afterwards. All right, there we go. All right, so I will finish up her neck at some point, maybe today. If not, we will get to it tomorrow. We will try to get her all finished up tomorrow before the end of the day. I'm going to zoom you all the way out so you can see what we did. So now it just looks like she has a really light layer of the base color on there. Yeah, sand eraser is pretty rough, yeah. But I have gone over and lifted off as much of that grayscale, that heavier grayscale that was black, off of the page. So hopefully it won't do that again and completely ruin the picture. Thank you. Thank you all very much for coming and hanging out with us. We definitely do appreciate it. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And if you do, of course, stream or anything like that, make sure that you let yourself be known to the channel. We definitely do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. Always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.